Okay, just a quick note on how to make these bezels for the control panel. So I want some of the bezels inside the circle to make the diameters smaller. You see how on some instrument faces, and this is just a rough representation, you have larger diameter instruments and smaller diameter instruments. But my hole punch is just one size. So what I do is, to make the smaller ones, I wrap solder around a paintbrush handle, something of the appropriate diameter, such that it'll allow these bezels that I make to fit inside of these holes. So here I'm making about 5 bezels. So you just wrap about 5 times around your whatever you're using as a as a guide, in this case paintbrush handle. And then you want to cut through in such a place that you create the most rings. So right about here, just chop that, and you can see actually I've got about 8 or 9. So, and then once you press them flat and make a nice ring, sometimes you have to go through and just clean up that edge and just recut it. And if you need to make them smaller than this, I mean, that's easy enough to do just by nipping about a ½ millimeter from one end or the other. You know, just slipping into that groove there and nipping one way or the other to make it smaller. You know, making it larger will leave a gap, so you don't really have much room to maneuver there. But if we pop this into our well, I might have made them a little big, wouldn't you know it? Yeah, these are a little oversized, so we'll have to do a little nipping here. Alright, well, let's just show you what I mean. So we'll just come in here, go one way or the other, widen the gap, and then close it up again. Now we've got a perfect fit. See that? Oh, it fell out. But you get the idea. You get to a point where you get a nice snug fit in there, and then just a drop of super glue will retain that in there. See that? And then for the larger, well, for that all we do is we just wrap this around a slightly larger diameter, either the same brush just where it's thicker down toward the end, right, or some other template that fits, that's suitable. And then those you just glue onto the face. And you can see that leaves you a little bit larger opening. Again, the ones I'd wrapped for these larger, the ones I want to represent larger diameter, I won't use these. I'll rewrap and use the wider, fatter portion of the paintbrush for those. But the ones I need to go inside of the holes, I can just nip about a ½ millimeter off of these and close them up, and they'll be fine. And you just want to glue those from the back side, is all you want to make sure you're doing. Is and for the ones that are going to lay on the face of the instrument panel, you just use a pin and just go lightly around the inside of the opening. Okay, and that's how I do these anyway. And it gives them a nice effect. And then once you get all these glued into place, then you paint the panel before assembly. You're going to paint this black before assembly. And then I've already marked the holes on the backer plate, so this will be the backer plate. The instruments will be glued onto here, a sheet of clear acetate glued onto here, and then this glued over the top, and that makes your panel sandwich with the instruments on it. So let's see, if I had an instrument in there, if you look just at that one instrument here, you can see you've got an instrument face, a bezel, you'd have clear acetate covering it, and you'd have what looks like a pretty decent instrument panel, right? So that's pretty much how I do those, and that's it. Okay, so I wanted to kind of do a brief so I don't know if I've covered that in the other videos. I know I've shown the finished templates or panels, and I've talked about panel sandwich, but that's what it is right there. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day.